everyone, this is Buddy Club Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last episode, oh my gosh, a lot of interesting stuff came about. We were in Chief Gant's office, we investigated and found a lot of great evidence. Although one of them is kind of worrying because it has Emma's fingerprints on it, so it's like, what's going on there? And poor Gumshoe got fired because Gant came back. And, well, we spoke to Lana, and she finally came clean about a lot of stuff. Stuff that I had completely forgotten about, actually. So anyway, now the trial is going to be, continuing. The last day of the trial. Oh boy. Alrighty. Hey, it's February. I just realized. It's February when I'm recording this, and it's February in the game. Nice. This is the defendant lobby, all right. But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? That's, pretty strange. And where's Emma, for that matter? It's almost as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Who is saying this? I don't know. Oh, Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7x7 ID number is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Yep. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt on this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling on the defendant. 5 minutes after the trial starts, Lana will be found guilty. Not if you help me out, edgy bro. Come on now, we gotta work together to take down Gant. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. Ugh. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. Nicely done, Phoenix. I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright. He knows how to get Edgeworth to do what he wants. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Oh my god. I'm gonna go as far as I can today, but I'm hoping that for the next episode I can get my buddy Smooth to join me. That would be so great. I want somebody else's voice. And I can't do it without you, Smooth. It's so much better when you're here. Alrighty then. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Ah, I just confirmed it. I think I yawn the most when I'm doing the judge's voice, because I notice I'm yawning during the trial episodes more than the investigation. So something about the judge's voice makes me sleepy. Oh boy. I apologize in advance. It's gonna be a rough ride for me. Oh my god. Dude, just looking at you makes me sleepy, Judge. Okay. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Oh no. Chief Gant. There he is. Cue theme music. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Yudgy, been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Ah, that's funny, Judge. You are so funny. You've got such a great sense of humor, old man. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Dude, I just noticed that his face is almost as orange as his clothes. You've been tanning too much, boy. Old man, sir. Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. Why would she ask you instead of her own lawyer? She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Dang it, Gant. Dang it, Lana. What's this all about, defendant? I'd like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! Dang it. You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana... Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. Dang! Oh my God, what we gonna do? The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. Oh, it's happening all right. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. No! Edgeworth! You are such a bae. He is such a bae. I love him. Okay. Alright. Getting all excited. Fangirl mode activated. One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Uh-oh. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, Uh-oh. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gaunt.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be.
Ooh.
Nice! Nice! Get him, Edward, get him! Oh! I love this so much. You guys are gonna have to endure my fangirlism. I'm so sorry. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal, hmm? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh?
Sorry, did Gant's voice for a second there.
Oh, to whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. Oh. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth might be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant?
Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Shut the F up, Gant. That's pretty much what he's saying. Oh, Edgy, I love you. I'm so proud of you, my darling. It's so weird that Phoenix is still there, but oh well. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Are you allowed to still be there? Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then.
He sure gave in fast. That's awesome. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. Alright, here we go. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. But what are you gonna do? I mean, we're not legally her counsel anymore.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
But we're not the defense anymore, right? I'm so confused. Okay. I don't know if this is the type that I have to press. I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. And we stuck his knife in. Okay, let's just press first before I present something. That must have been a real shock.
Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dog was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. But Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Alright, okay, I'm gonna press this one. Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights.
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out?
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
That's where I need it, okay.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Yes, let us hear more. I wasn't sure which one I needed. It's this one. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago.
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
Uh-huh. A picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
Well, what about that? I mean, we saw a very interesting thing earlier, and he didn't really want to show it, but that's alright. We got it now. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you still insist on denying its existence? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. Yeah, don't pick on him. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! Behold! Such a dork, Phoenix.
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident.
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over. Turn it... Oh! What's this?
Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew!
I can't draw that. It looks good. I mean, I can't draw that, so... Props to you, girl.
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete.
There we go.
These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What?
You had your suspicions, honey.
Order! Order! Who would have thought the picture would have been drawn on the back of the list?
That was handed to Detective Goodman in the questioning room?
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor.
Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
Oh boy, okay then. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Oh,
I didn't even think of that.
yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth?
It's possible. Let's see. I love when he gets like that. It's so funny.
Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask? He's so mad. Sorry, Your Honor. What is it with these characters in these games? What case was it? Was case 2, right? That Phoenix didn't even turn over the back of the note that said Maya's name to see that it was a receipt. These people, they forget that there's two sides to everything. Come on. You don't know. It's ridiculous. Alright, sorry. Common sense does not exist in this world. I have to remember that. There is something drawn on the back of my list. This is that thing. What the hell is the blue badger doing there?
That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Apparently, the head of criminal affairs used this for his blueprint. I guess he was out of scrap paper. No. No, can't be. She drew it, didn't she?
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she saw the picture. It was 2 years ago.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
Huh.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
The
defense may now begin its cross-examination.
this is the picture she drew 2 years ago. Shadows. Must have fainted. Exactly what she saw. Let's press on this. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course! This is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, no, of course not. I'd better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary. He has no effect on that. What are you talking about?
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Yeah, I think so. Alright, let me look. Stabbed in the back. A knife tip was in the wound? Just missing tip, but look at the weapon he's holding in the picture. I don't see a pointy knife. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us.
Excuse me.
What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Like I just said, it's the knife. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
In fact, you don't even have to look closely to see that.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. Uh-oh. Huh? Where could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Exactly.
Oh! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. No, no, no. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. But what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. No, no, no. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence. You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife might be the piece of evidence that was forged. Heck yeah! You can't deny the possibility.
No. Ugh!
Oh boy.
Order! 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 Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. And then we will call an end to the video. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. Ugh. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? Well, we will answer that question in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is getting so good. I hope you're enjoying this. And if not the next episode, then maybe the one after that. We'll see. Whenever Smooth is available and I'm available, we will record an episode together because it will be so much fun to hear him doing the voice. Well, I need to make sure. I want him to do Gant's voice. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.